Hello fellow dummies and welcome to this first mailbag. First of all, thank you to everyone who posted, and without further ado, let's get going.
Tennis mailbag.
From Mike Richards, would you be able to cover the different types of tennis balls on the tour, their speeds, and whether or not the tour has been slowing down the balls in recent years?
No, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, we're off to a good start. From Iftiash Cohen, could you do a segment making your perfect player, picking different shots from different players, serve, return, forehand, etc.?
Yes, that I can do.
Serve Karlovic, return Djokovic, backhand 2017 Federer, forehand Nadal, net game Edberg, speed Alcaraz, slice Federer or Graf. Overall athleticism Monfils, clutchness Djokovic, power Nadal, spirit Alcaraz, focus Sinner. From Hunter Gazprig, if you had to pick one match to recommend a new fan watch in its entirety, what would it be? Let's go for Sinner Alcaraz 2025 Roland Garros. Has a bit of everything in it.
From Bourbonog Expert. Since the channel is about tennis for dummies, may you explain to the world how stupid it is to compare male and female tennis pros?
This is man, this is woman, this is tennis ball. Tennis about two things: hitting ball, running after ball. Man hits stronger woman, man runs faster woman. Male tennis different female tennis.
From the Tiers of Madness, the top 10 best matches of all time, in your opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the matches I've actually watched.
They're all very personal and there's no specific ranking except the first 3 of them are on a tier of their own.
So let's go. Federer, Nadal, Wimbledon 2008, Alcaraz, Sinner, Roland Garros 2025, Djokovic, Nadal, Australian Open 2012, Agassi, Medvedev, Roland Garros 1999, Graf, Ingis, Roland Garros 1999, Agassi, Blake, US Open 2005, Nadal, Djokovic, US Open 2011, Nadal, Djokovic, Roland Garros 2013, Nadal, Medvedev, Australian Open 2022, and Arazi, Piolin, Roland Garros 1998. Haha, you were not expecting this one, were you? Here's old club level players. Well, it depends really. I mean, if you're 75, I wouldn't worry about it too much. This is great. I have a few. Favorite sponsor from Laver Cup, and you mentioned you've lived in quite a few places, 3 places you visited that you want to go back again, and 3 places you'd want to go you haven't yet. Okay, favorite sponsor from Laver Cup. I see what you're doing. Look, I'll tell you that much. It's not Swiss. Now, 3 places I visited I want to go back again. Well, Zimbabwe, I've lived there and loved it, and anytime I can go back, yeah. Lebanon, India would be cool as well. And places I want to go that I haven't yet, well, only one really, Japan.
From Alejandre, did you try a professional career in tennis? Also, a video about fashion in tennis throughout history, from vest to capri pants. So, did I try a professional career in tennis? I'm glad you asked. I actually thought about it. It was on the 26th of October 2003 between 6:30 and 6:45 a.m. Then I passed out and woke up with a massive hangover. Video about fashion in tennis? Why not? But probably not. From Lodivan Herwinen. Do you play tennis yourself? Yes, I do. Poorly. And mostly against the wall at the moment, actually. From Naziv 2016. Why are people so eager to compare Sincaraz to the Big Three? Can we wait to see the longevity of Sincaraz before we can make a true comparison? The Big Three only truly became legends after dominating consistently for many, many years. I agree with you. Then again, it's human nature. When Federer won his 3rd slam, people were asking him if he was thinking about the 14 of Pete Sampras. That's the way it is. From I don't know how to pronounce this. Make another video about Rafael Nadal. It should be longer than the Djokovic video. Okay, so first of all, when you ask something, especially if it's a request on YouTube, ask nicely. It doesn't hurt, you know. Anyway, that's the first point. Now, to answer your actual request. First point, no. Second, size doesn't matter, man. You should know that. From Fimi3509, why do video take ages? Thank you. Okay. I'll explain you why. The best way is for me to show you an extract of a video and explain to you the different steps involved. So let's watch this extract of the Nadal video.
So Nadal thought, okay, I need 3 things. 1, massive arms. You know what? Actually, just the one arm, because why bother? 2,
a badass look. The posh style was already taken by Fed, so he thought, okay, let's go for something more I'll get your scalp with my bare hands after I beat the crap out of you kind of vibe.
So the first bit is, of course, to write the whole thing, which usually takes a fair amount of time. Then select the proper image that's going to fit the state of mind of Nadal. That can take a while as well. Then I have to find the proper music, and that can take a hell of a time. Then I have to find all the sound effects. But if I want to find a sound effect of someone going, "Woo!"
A badass.
It's really hard to find on YouTube someone doing exactly like this. So what I had to do in that case was looking for a cuica sound, which is a Brazilian instrument, which goes whoop. Then of course I have to mix the woo of the cuica perfectly with the music I selected, so that it falls perfectly in rhythm.
I'll get your scalp with my bare hands after I beat the crap out of you kind of vibe.
Then I have to look for an image of a Native American, but not any Native American. It has to be one that kind of looks like Nadal with the bandana and kind of the same position so that it looks good and the same shot and all of this. And then find an image where you clearly see the difference between Nadal's arms, which is actually way harder than I thought it would be. Then you have the voiceover, which I have sometimes to do several takes, because when I do one, I have another idea and I do a different kind of voice and another one, and that takes a while as well. And then on top of this, you have the editing, which is the most time-consuming task of all. So all of this back to back easily takes, or can take, a couple of hours, and we're talking about 15 seconds of a video here. From Tennis Conundrum, what's your opinion on rubber band dampeners, and do they offend you? It's actually a topic that is very close to my heart, and it took me a while to decide whether I wanted to answer this question or not. I actually wrote a thesis on this in my last year of university, and only 3 people read it, but still it made a massive impression. And up to this day, it actually moves me and brings back very hard memories. So I actually rather not talk about it, but they do offend. But they do offend me. Yeah, no, I didn't actually know what a rubber band dampener was. I had to Google it. But now that I know what it is, I gotta say, this is a disgrace. Harrison van Osselen. What about players like Bublik and Moutet? Talk about players like them. Okay. I like them. From Bunny Denisovic. Who's your favorite currently in the WTA, and who do you expect to see, I assume, rising and possibly winning a Grand Slam in the next season? My favorite WTA player by a landslide is Karolina Muchova. She's amazing. It's just a shame she's always hurt. And possibly winning a Grand Slam? Well, it's not a really hard pick. I would say Mira Andreeva. From Grace Lynch 7757, could you do a segment by making a player based on the worst shots of Sincaraz and Novak, and how high do you think this player would rank in the current tour? Well, the worst shots of Sincaraz and Novak, I mean, they're already like some of the best shots anyway, so I think this guy would be pretty high anyway. From Astero5599, I want to know your thoughts on if Sincaraz has longevity potential as a rivalry. I think it does. All right, from Sukanya Konara, but can you nail mushroom risotto? Look, Sukanya, I'm not one to brag, but I do a mean mushroom risotto. From Crimson Sky, if a tree falls and no one is around to hear it, did it really fall and make noise? Well, Crimson, when a tree falls, usually there's this dude around. From Nikolai Carlos, Racket Breaker stays at what number in the list? Well, pretty low. I mean, he only broke 1 to my knowledge. From Amis8761, why are tennis players so hot in general? Well, because. From Knights Courts 9558, do you do your steaks medium rare or wrong? Oh, that's a perfect question, man. Comptine or Comptine ask, rate the most charismatic ATP players. I'm gonna rate the ones that I've seen play, and I won't elaborate because I'm lazy. Sophie Totum asks, why does Sabalenka scream as if someone is knifing her every shot? That's a very good question. Actually, this is due to the fact that there's a little leprechaun called Andre hidden in her back and armed with a tiny knife who stabs her every time she hits a ball. This is actually quite common to female players, and it happens around puberty. The name of the leprechaun obviously varies. I mean, Sharapova's one was called Yuri. Hiritik 9000 asks, I felt the Djokovic for Dummies video was a little bit different from all other videos. Is it a stylistic change you want to try, or am I just speculating? Also, who is your personal favorite tennis player of all time? Okay, first bit of the question. Well, this channel for me is a place to experiment things, be free creatively. And so, apart from the post-tournament videos that follow usually the same pattern, I always try new things in each video, particularly in the longer formats. So it's not just in the Djokovic video, it was the same in the Nadal video, and it will probably be the same every time I release a new, longer and slightly different video. My personal favorite tennis player of all time, I don't really have one. I used to like Federer a lot, was angry when he lost to Nadal. Then in 2008, I thought he had a shitty attitude, and then I sort of switched to Nadal. And then in 2012, during the Australian Open final, I realized that I was just a tennis fan because I wasn't a fan of anyone. Just grateful and appreciative of Djokovic and Nadal for offering us this spectacle. And ever since, I've never been a fan. Now, to me, the interest of sports in general and tennis in particular is to see how I can get inspired very practically by all of these amazing athletes who have to deal with crazy things mentally, physically, emotionally. So that's why each of them has something interesting, in my opinion, from my perspective. I love Alcaraz for his super positive attitude, his charm. I love Yannick Sinner for his insane ability to focus on the process.
I love Djokovic because he's so complex and fucked up and super smart all at the same time.
There are so many different players to be inspired by that I can't really focus on one of them only.
And we have Hall7 Silva again, who's asking, Sampras and Agassi. Why do Americans love Agassi so much while there is no love to Sampras?
Sampras was a much better player and accomplished much more than Agassi in tennis. The rivalry was lopsided, wasn't even close, yet everyone seems to think that it was a proper close rivalry. Sampras dominated mostly solo for the majority of the 90s, no? Okay, so different things in that question. Why do Americans love, well, the whole world, I think, loves Agassi more than Sampras. We get back to the charisma question. Sampras is probably not even in the top 100 in terms of charisma. So Agassi's life was like a movie. He was bigger than tennis. He was a very attaching character. He went through ups and downs. He was a prodigy, then didn't deliver, then delivered, and then didn't again, etc., etc. So he was someone you felt closer to than Sampras, who felt like he was going to work. And his play was amazing, but he wasn't that attaching beyond that. So about the second part of your question, Sampras was a much better player and accomplished more than Agassi in tennis. Yes, he won way more slams than Agassi, almost twice as much. Agassi, however, revolutionized the game in other ways. Agassi's game style was probably more influential in today's tennis than Sampras's game style somehow. Now about the lopsided rivalry, it wasn't that dominated by Sampras actually. It's 2014, so it's not extremely close, but there's not a huge gap either. Now Sampras dominating mostly solo for the majority of the 90s, definitely not. If you compare it, for example, let's say to Djokovic in the 2010s, you can see the difference. And if you go even one step further and compare the domination of Agassi and Sampras in the 90s to Nadal and Djokovic in the 2010s, you can see that it's a complete different level of domination. So he did win more slams than anyone else. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a solo domination.
From Denishu 1833, top 3 tennis TV funny moments.
I don't really have one, but probably my favorite thing that they did was this fake series where every player was pretending to be an actor in the series. That was really clever, that was creative, and that was really well executed. This is it. It was really fun and took way more time than I was expecting, but thank you very much to everyone, and see you very soon for another video.